Here. What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy Monday, April 11th, 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed just a packed weekend of sports, right? Baseball. Got the finale of the NBA regular season and Masters, MMA, NASCAR. What? Disc golf. What? Lawnmower racing. What? Ice hockey. No, I'm sorry. I don't get into ice. No, I don't know. That's dumb. What up? Mia Moore, Robert, Cheyenne, Sean in the chat. Eric. Hope you guys are doing all right. Happy Monday. A little vibe-tastic Monday, man. It's nice out here. It's about 80 degrees out there. And we got a pretty solid game that does not involve Coors Field, but a couple teams that can take games and turn them into a Coors Field game. So that'd be fun to talk about. This is actually just straight up first look. We're developing a format here. Obviously, you guys have been hanging out for the last couple years. You know the vibes. Speaking of the vibes, I was thinking of playing some lo-fi music since it's just me. Would you guys be cool with that? Just kind of keep the brain going, because listening to me talk about numbers can be really, really boring. So if that's cool with you, it's cool with me. Just let me know if it's too loud, too low, or if you want to hit the old skip button. We'll do that as well. So what up, Skimmer? While you guys get in here, I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to go jump in that rundfs.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. I'm going to get caught up on all the lineups that are already out. And also, I need to make sure that you guys can see my screen in a convenient manner. So how about that? We stretch that. That'll be fine. All right, cool. So let's go get the confirmed lineups punched into the old spreadsheet here, and then we will start doing step 2 of research, just making sure all the weather is good. So first of all, we're probably going to want to spell athletics correctly. We got Tony Kemp, Elvis Andrus, Billy McKinney, former Yankee great, in the top of the athletics lineup. Sean Murphy. This lineup is so bad. Seth Brown, Chatty Pendergrass, Stephen Vogt, Sheldon Noyce, and Pache. All right, cool. That's our lineup here. What else we got? We got a Rays lineup already. Lau, Franco. I got Wander Franco in MLB The Show this morning. Yandy Diaz batting third. G-Man, Choi, Josh Lowe. Josh Lowe, by the way, if you guys didn't know, there used to be a Nate Lowe on this team. And this is his brother, and they traded Nate to, I think, the Rangers. and now his brother's still there. So they still have trying to figure out Lau and Low, but now it's it's through the blood. What up, Lynx? Who do you prefer on Fanduel, Inoa or Suarez? I haven't really jumped into anything yet. I would probably say, without researching, I think Suarez probably has the best underlying metrics from memory. But we'll get into that. What up, Mighty Saint? Happy Monday. All right. Phillies lineup came out. Schwarber. Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, Didi Gregorius, Gene Seguri, Alec Boehm over Stott. Really? All right, cool. Get that in there. Here, what up, Neville? What up, Josh? Blue Jays lineup did not come out. Braves lineup is out. Albies, Olsen, Riley. By the way, chat, we ordered some Subway like an hour ago. It was like a 15-minute estimated delivery, and it didn't come in 15 minutes. Matter of fact, it came about 8 minutes ago, but I was really hungry, and I didn't want my sandwich to sit around and get all soggy, so I just like gawked the heck out of a foot long. All right, let's move on away from that sentence as fast as possible. But really, really good. But also, like, I'm thirsty now. It had a little spice to it. But I do have a bang ready to go once I get all these lineups typed up. I really did not mean for that sentence to sound so bad. But yeah. All right, you guys happy after opening weekend? I'm all right. Yankees last night got ultra bad, but 10 double-digit hits. Some of the most incredible expected batting average, exit velocities, finding gloves. It's just what are you gonna do? Italian BMT. I got a chicken bacon ranch. Not the first time you took 12 inches. Oh man, eat fresh really fast. Yeah, really fast. Really fast. I was hoping it would get here like 30 minutes ago. I could just kind of chill a little bit, but it did not. All right, so that's all the lineups. So the next thing we want to do here is get caught up on weather, make sure we know what we're dealing with. Now, there was an early slate with the Cardinals game got postponed. Looking at this slate specifically, Yankees and Giants are on it, so that's all we care about. It's green. Looks like a little bit of rain, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I think we're good on rain. Shout out to Kevin Ross, shout out to RG for keeping that under tap. So boom. All right, then I guess we start doing some research here. Game number 1, Athletics at the Rays. Rays are going to be throwing Paul Blackburn, and Rays are going to be throwing Luis Patino. Patino last year, 28% K rate to righties to lefties, not so much. But I do think that can come up a little bit. 11.4% swinging strike rate. And what we love about this matchup is it's the Athletics. Athletics have been so bad. Look at some of these K numbers against righties since the beginning of, or for the last 2 years. 25% K rate for Billy McKinney, Sean Murphy, Seth Brown, Chatty Pendergrass, Sheldon Noyce, Christian Pike. Like, this is a very high strikeout lineup. And you guys kind of saw it in that Philadelphia series where Kyle Gibson, Zach Eflin, like those are guys that not notoriously huge strikeout upside guys, especially Kyle Gibson, but because you were facing this lineup, you were just accidentally getting strikeouts. So Patino definitely profiles well, especially if we can get a decent pitch count out of him. So probably gonna jot him down early and often. What up, Devour? Kyle from Walton has 5 homers. Yeah, he does have plus BVP, but I don't really care about BVP. I like leadoff Kyle Schwarber against a right-handed pitcher. Blackburn last year, just ridiculous numbers to both sides of the plate. Big contact guy. So we're definitely gonna be wanting to pick on him. I do want to pull up Patino here to see if we have any type of lean on what a pitch count would be. Here, what up, Kickstart? What up, Chickaroo? Doing all right? Oh, Twins over Yankees. I don't know about that. All right, now we pop the bang. Had a sore shoulder in early spring training, but is apparently back to full strength at regular season, blah, blah, blah. He may be seeing limited workload. All right. Everyone's seeing limited workload, so we need to hold out for like a pitch count before we overreact to that. 7,800. I think I've just kind of accepted that if my pitcher gives me over 10 fantasy points throughout the first 1 or 2 starts and they're under 9K, under 8K, I probably just play them and hope for positive range of outcome. So we're just going to go ahead and involve Patino into the player pool. So we're going to do some note taking here. If you guys want to play along, that's cool. If you guys have already done some research, you might have pitch counts on some of these guys, definitely share it with the class. I'd be glad. So I'm going to type up Patino in my notepad on the side. I think he's going to be in the pitcher pool. As far as Blackburn, no, we're not playing Paul Blackburn. He last year had a 5.4 expected ERA, 1.62 WHIP, just really, really high contact numbers. To his credit, he is a contact pitcher by design, like heavy ground ball rates, 51% ground ball rate to lefties last year, 46.5% ground ball rate to righties, just straight up pitching to contact and eating some innings. And I think that's what you're going to see with the Athletics, man. They're just looking for inning eaters, punt the season, and reshuffle the deck of cards here. Looking at the pitch report for Blackburn, we're going fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, which is going to be something I dig quite a bit for really anyone, but just allowing the opposing team to put the ball in play, put the ball in play, good things will happen. So I do like the Rays here. They're probably not going to be my top stack, but they do have a 5.3 implied run total, which honestly on this slate it's not number 1, and it's looking like it's not number 2, and it might not be number 3 when it's all said and done. So we're gonna like some Rays here, but the ground ball rate for Blackburn could play spoiler. So let's type up stacks here. We're gonna put Rays. I know they're not gonna end up being number 1, so we'll just stick with that. And then I got no interest in the Athletics here. If I did want to pick on Patino, looks like last year there was some problems with homers to righties, and that's really the last 2 years. So we can kind of see if that's part of his DNA. Look at his minor league numbers. By the way, chat, is this music too loud, too low? For me, it's kind of loud, but I know the front end, the mixer is a little bit different, so I would have to just change it my own on my side. But it's like listening to a lecture, right? It's boring, so I'm just trying to stimulate the brain waves a little bit more. What up, Caleb? Doing all right? Against righties last year in the minors. So he didn't have, he didn't give him many homers in 20 innings, but it's only 20 innings, so I don't want to overreact to that. 2020. 2 homers in 8 innings. Yeah, all right. Well, it's the Athletics, so I'm going to take my chances here. I'm going to bank on this swing and strike rate and hope that this 22% K rate can be closer to 25% and maybe squeeze out a win. And while we're here, maybe we can get an idea of potential innings. That's what I would think. What up, J. Cole? What's the stacks? There's a lot of stacks today. We're on day 4, day 5 for some of these teams for back end of the pitching rotation. So it's going to get bad. And then we got some powerhouse offenses here. Phillies, Rays. The Braves have a 6-run total. Just stupid. Yankees, Blue Jays, that could be a slugfest. And then, of course, the Angels also have a 5+ run total. So a lot of 5-run totals for 60 and 50 degree weather. That's not normal. Highest bomb ratings in this game? Nobody. There's no 4s. There's no 3.9s. So I'm gonna stack the Rays by default. Just hope the Athletics allow a bunch of traffic and go on from there. We don't have a Mets lineup yet, but we do have a Phillies lineup. Ranger Suarez is pitching for the Phillies. So Ranger Suarez is kind of a unique case here, right? We pull up his Fangraphs card from last year. He was a guy that they had closing, and now they want him to be a stretched out member of the rotation. Sometimes that can go a couple different ways. We've seen guys be better out of the bullpen, elite closers, but average starters. But I think we have some hope in Ranger Suarez. So I'm going to look at last year, look at a couple of his game logs that he started in, because I don't want the I don't want the end result to be too skewed. So 7 innings in October last year. We walked away with 9 strikeouts, 9 innings at Pittsburgh, 7 strikeouts. Yeah, all right. So we're getting decent numbers as a starter as well. And then if we look at the spreadsheet here, we're dealing with a 25.6% K rate, 11% swing and strike rate, just a 2.6% barrel rate. That's just beautiful. So while we do like a couple of these Mets bats generally against lefties, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, guys like that, Ranger Suarez has been so good, so good. And he's keeping the ball on the ground, and he's not giving up bombs. 54% ground ball rate to righties, 74% to lefties, and he sustained this 50+% for the most part. There is a blemish here in the 2020 if you're looking on the surface, but it's only because he only pitched 4 innings. So we're going to completely dismiss all of this red here if you guys are new to the spreadsheet, and then just kind of rely on 100+ innings of what he provided for us last year. So with that in mind, even though he's 8,900, 96 on Fanduel, he looks like one of the best pedigreed pitchers on the slate. So he's going to be in the blender as far as one of our pitching targets today. And the Phillies offense looks like it could be a problem. Taijuan Walker last year, he was pitching through injury. He can be good, but he has been mostly closer to a contact pitcher than a strikeout pitcher. A sub 10% swing and strike rate the last 2 years. I have no interest in picking on this Phillies team. This Phillies run total 5.4. I'm going to be in on some Philly stacks. Somebody mentioned Schwarber's history against Taijuan Walker. I'll show it to you guys, but I want to point out I really have no interest in BVP. What was that? No interest in BVP for the most part, but he's got 5 homers and 10 at bats against Walker, 500 average, slugging 2,000. I don't need that. I don't need those numbers to put me into some leadoff Kyle Schwarber, but yeah, sure. If you want to look at BVP, I guess that's a plus here. What I'd rather do is just find predictive data that could really justify playing any player, and I think Kyle Schwarber does. He's just a monster. So right now, Walker, if we go off of last year's stats, 57% fastball usage, almost 20% on that slider. Kyle Schwarber grades really, really well against that fastball. I'm in on Kyle Schwarber. I'm in on the Philly stack. I think it's a really, really strong offense, and we do have this lineup confirmed. So Schwarber, Romuto, Harper, Casty, Rhys Hoskins, 1 through 5 is definitely my priority clicks here. And Gene Segura showed a little pop yesterday, homered. Not normally somebody I'm playing for power, but if he can hit for a good average, get on base, usually brings a little speed to the table as well. And then Didi's in the mix. So I actually think this lineup gets a little longer today than what I remember being yesterday. So yeah, we're going to add Phillies to the stack list today. I'm going to rank them above the Rays because I do think they might have more upside in terms of what we're looking for in tournaments, a little bit of power. On the Mets side, there's not much in Suarez's numbers that make me want to target him, but I would say if we had to find a hole, hey, a 4+ xFIP to righties, maybe there's some regression coming, and he does allow a little bit more contact to righties as well. So maybe a guy like Jade, what happened? Did you fall? You okay?
I actually don't think so.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. All right. Emergency onset. So, there could be some regression coming, but like I said, there's really just nothing that I want to go out of my way to target on Ranger Suarez. So, if I allowed a couple guys like, Pete Alonso, Francisco Lindor, somebody like that fall in the lineup, I will. But I don't think the Mets would make one of my preferred stack list here. Maybe they get in that bullpen a little bit faster. We look at the bullpen for the last couple days on the Phillies. Control F, Phillies Oh, I don't have their numbers pulled up from the weekend. All right, cool. Maybe they dip in that bullpen and get into some, but I just bet on the talent at that point. Guy like Starling Marte, Lindor, Pete Alonso, those were the 3 Mets that I allow to get sprinkled in here, but I'm not going to dedicate full stacks to the Mets. I don't think so. What's the stacks? You're good. Sounds like she's struggling. I don't know. Maybe she'll let us know. What up, them boys? What up, Sean? All right, let's move on to the Yankee game. We do got a Yankee lineup. And this morning, I was saying after last night, I need Josh Donaldson to take a day off. I know it's his old team, but I need him to take a day off. Because he struck out looking 3 times. I was like, bring a bat, buddy. And guess what? It looks like he's got the day off. DJ LeMahieu leading off for the Yankees. I'm in on that. Rizzo batting second. Aaron Judge. Giancarlo Stanton. Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo, by the way, had a batted ball event that was a unicorn. And I'll share it with you guys. Marlon Gonzalez cracking the lineup. Let's go. I'm just saying you could do better. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I quote tweeted it. Obviously with a little bit of animated jest because I'm a Yankees fan. But check out this number. Gallo had this lineup last night with 112.5 mile an hour exit velocity and a 22-degree launch angle. Since StatCast started tracking, there have been 132 balls hit between 112 and 113 miles an hour and 21 to 23 degrees. 121 of them were homers. Gallo, out of all of the 131, was the first to ever be an out. And Danny would tell you, when that ball came off the bat, I yelled, gone. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that ball was jumping the porch, and it didn't even come close to the warning track. It was incredible. So I don't know if that's a dead ball thing, but just a fun little nerd stat to keep in the chamber there. Because, baseball hurts sometimes. And there were several events in that game. We have this StatCasty stuff tab in the RunDFS.com Discord. And every time the Yankees made an out last night, I was like, man, he smoked out. What the heck happened? And there were several instances. For instance, scroll down to this Yankee game where I looked up and that batted ball event had like an 800 to 900 expected batting average. And I was like, you're kidding me, right? Oh, wait, Bobby Witt got him on? Let's go. Oh, Bobby Dahlbeck. Okay. I thought I read Bobby Witt. That 990 expected batting average for that Gallo event, just stupid. All right, that's all I got for now. Anyway, I'm rambling. A chair and a clothes hanging rack fell on me. That's not what you want. What up, RC player? Alek Manoah taking on Jameson Taillon is our featured pitching matchup. Manoah was an absolute stud last year for the Blue Jays, especially to close the season. He's got a couple of questionable numbers in these underlying metrics, the 4.4 xFIP versus the 158 average allowed, the 0.57 home run per 9. Walk rate's really, really good, and the hard contact's really, really low. But the 4.4 xFIP looks like he could be due for regression, and the same with his xFIP to lefties. However, I'm willing to allow a couple of inconsistent numbers in a rookie season be just fine to dismiss a little bit going into a sophomore season as players evolve and develop. So maybe we go look at a couple of his final games at the end of last season. Maybe we look at his spring training stuff. Kirilloff is not starting, but is starting. Oh yeah, I don't want to. All my season log alerts going off. Top 3 options for pitcher on DK. So right now, my notes, I got Patino and Suarez jotted down, but I haven't gone game by game yet to throw some others. But I have very little pushback on Patino and Suarez. So if you guys are maybe familiar with the NBA content or seen me elsewhere, these streams, the baseball streams on this channel, is kind of closer to an open research thing where a lot of this is my first, opening the book and checking out the numbers. Unlike basketball and some of these other sports, I don't really need to know much other than who's playing and who, and what I'm saying, pitch counts. So I don't do a whole lot of prep. I just look at weather and lineups that are out, and we're gonna play the numbers and turn it into a math game. In spring training, 14 innings for Manoah, threw 197 pitches over 4 games, a 200 average allowed, gave up no homers, so that's very good. Maybe we can game log that from spring training and make sure that his ground out to air out ratio was plus 113 ground out, 1 ground out. Strikeouts were fine. All right, so Manoah looked fine in spring. Spring, I don't overreact to spring, but that's what you like to see. He closed the season with Baltimore, Minnesota, Tampa. So Tampa 7-10 Ks. Finished the season giving up 3 or less earned runs in his final 5 or 6 starts. Just 1 blemish there in his final 8 starts. So Manoah certainly has a lot of tournament potential today. You are paying a premium, 10.2K. I wonder what the field would get at comfort-wise at that price point against a team like the Yankees. Yankees are extremely boomer bust, not only as an offense, but as picking on this offense with an opposing pitcher. Because you see, Judge, Stanton, Gallo, 30% K rates as an aggregate there. Higasioka's in the lineup today. He strikes out quite a bit. Hicksy and Marlon Gonzalez can strike out 1 and 4 against righties. So there's certainly some upside there if he's pitching a gem. We've seen this Yankees plate approach be a little bit more patient the last couple of nights. Yesterday, a lot of full counts, a lot of bases loaded, drawing some walks here. But with a guy like Manoah, I guess against lefties, his walk rate was elevated last year. And I guess there's enough lefties in this lineup now that I would let that impede me a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like people aren't going to pay a lot of 10K premiums on a pitcher against the Yankees, especially with a lot of these high-priced offenses in really, really good spots. We're talking about the Braves and their run total a little bit. So Scumdacker, the old Scumdacker is going to come out and play here, where if you're running 100, 150 lineups, you absolutely have to play both sides of this. So I'm going to jump down a little bit, put Alek Manoah in the pitching pool, but he's going to be one of those in tournament stuff. And then of course the Yankees. I try to be unbiased on this show, but I'm stacking the Yankees every day. Yesterday they look really, really good. They left a small village on base, so they were 1 or 2 cracks of the bat away from really sharing fantasy points with everyone. You got to go up there and get them as well. Judge is almost 6K, 5K Rizzo, Stanton 5.2K, but I think you guys will find that I don't really care about pricing for MLB, man. I just want to identify stacks and pitchers to throw in the blender and see what we walk away with. Jameson Taillon on the bump for the Yankees. He's pitched well last year. There were some games where I was super happy to see him evolve and develop, and there were some games where, all right, he's going to rely on a good defense to get by in some spots. And then today he's got a team like the Blue Jays that don't have a ton of baked in strikeouts in their projected lineup. Only Teoscar Hernandez and Matt Chapman carry a 25+% K rate. I guess Kevin Biggio as well. But Taillon's not really a strikeout guy. He can get you strikeouts, but that's not really what he's out there doing. A 12% swing and strike rate, 23% K rate. Probably going to see a lot of batted ball events, and that's also by design. He does induce a low hard contact rate, 30% to both sides of the plate. The ground ball rate to righties and lefties is not what you want, and if you're going to allow a team like the Blue Jays to elevate some pitches, then that's going to be a problem. I'd be curious to see if the Blue Jays have a way to make this lineup more lefty heavy than righty, or just put some more lefties in it. Right now, I'm looking at 7 righties and then Tapia, whatever, and Kevin Biggio, okay. And if they go super righty heavy here, we might be able to neutralize some of our home run per nine problems to lefties, and really just focus on what's he doing against righties. And against righties, he does allow a decent amount of homers, but the advanced metrics say that it's due to the hitter, not to him. The hard contact rate's really low. So with that said, it's the Blue Jays. We're going to be stacking Blue Jays quite a bit this year. This game is a slight lean Vegas-wise in favor of the Yankees. The Yankees have shown over the weekend that their bullpen is really strong. So if they have to go into the bullpen today, I think Chapman would be available. Don't think we saw Chad Green last night. They went Montgomery to Clark Schmidt to, I think Jonathan Loaizaga came in, and then I want to say Wandy Peralta in the ninth. I don't know if I'm missing an arm in between there, but I think that's what they went. So if that's right, then Chad Green would be open. Aroldis Chapman would probably be there to close, and then Lucas Licky, I think he played last night. Then some of those other arms we saw in the first two games would probably be available today. So if they do have to cut this game in half and Tyon goes through two turns to the lineup, all bets are off. But this Blue Jays team is so good that they got to be a stack in Yankee Stadium. So we're gonna add them to the list. As far as specific bomb ratings, we are getting a 4+ number on Teoscar Hernandez and Matt Chapman, which ironically, these are the two guys with the highest strikeout numbers. So something to keep an eye on. On the Yankee side, bomb ratings, I'm getting a 4+ on Joey Gallo. That's in line with Manoah's problems last year to lefty. So if Gallo can stay patient at the plate, maybe he gets into one. Was making some contact last night, has some good at bats. Only $3K on Fanduel. That could be a nice price to take advantage of. What up, Jonathan? What up, Malakar? How about 10 of them? Oh, man. That's a lot of knee pads. What the heck? Going new to baseball, but you say earlier a stack means 1 through 5 in a rotation. No. A stack just means 4 or 5 players from a team, right? Most of the time, 1 through 5 is going to be like some of the more lucrative names. But that doesn't mean you have to stay there. We saw some Oscar Mercado yesterday, right? He hit a grand slam. You'll see some big games out of the bottom of the lineup. If you are using an optimizer, some of the new optimizers, especially Fantasy Cruncher, does an incredible job with just like, you just tell it, give me 5, and there's also a way to make them touch within 2 or 3 batters. But no, a stack doesn't mean 1 through 4, 1 through 5. Stack just means X amount of players from this team. That way, you take advantage of the positive correlation that baseball is just naturally going to give you, right? But those are good questions. Hey, if you guys are brand new to like baseball, and there's no basketball today or whatever, and you're just like, do I take a shot? What do I even talk? Hey, don't be afraid to speak up, man. You can ask literally elementary questions. I don't care. I will explain MLB DFS from the get-go, because I want to see more people try to understand and try to get into it. So, like, if that's something that you need a little help with, man, we got time. There's nothing else on the docket. I got to be in the VIP Discord, 2 hours before lock. But even then, like, the MLB crew knows, like, hey, we got the info we need. So don't be afraid to ask questions like that, because I know some people might think stacking is pretty obvious, but it may not be to some of you guys. Basically, are you saying target a few of the guys that bat 1 through 5 on the team, or actually take all 5? So if I'm saying stacking 1 through 5, if I said I like to stack 1 through 5 looks the best, means, all right, I want to get to some exposure to 4 or 5-man Phillies in the lineup. If I had to start prioritizing who I want the most, 1 through 5 looks the best, especially, and that's how they're designed to be put out there by the skipper. Those are probably going to be your best players on the team, right? You're not going to put your best players batting 8th, 9th, whatever. So it's going to be unless you're Jazz Chisholm. But yeah, what up, Eric? Shout out to Eric. Is it normal to pair a pitcher with a stack? No. There's really no correlation between a pitcher and his stack that you would need to take it, other than maybe getting him the win. But on FanDuel, where the win actually matters, I think it takes away. No, they fixed that. There's really no reason to to want that. It's not unnecessary, but it's not necessary. Shout out to Eric. Eric's the best. Yo, Eric, yesterday I got a DM on Twitter from a random, I've never interacted with this person before, and they literally sent me an apology for having to do a show with you. And I was like, what? So I was like, I love Eric. What the heck? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, Braves hosting the Nats. We do have a Nats lineup out now. Cesar Hernandez, Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, Kybert Ruiz, Yadiel Hernandez, Lane Thomas, Maikel Franco, Alcides Escobar. Boom. Alcides Escobar is on a team. That's incredible. Oscar Inoue, 8,600 on DK, 26% K rate to righties, 27% to lefties last year, 91 innings. Those are really nice numbers. Sub 4K, sub 3.5 xFIP to both lefties and righties. That's what you want. Hard contact, maybe a little not what you want against lefties, but I guess he's making up for it with a high ground ball rate. Maybe got a little bit lucky with that type of a hard contact rate on a 37% fly ball rate with just a 0.48 home run per nine. So let's do some digging on that. Maybe the bomb detector will sniff something out, but it does feel like he should be giving up more homers to lefties with numbers like that. So I'm going to look at what his home run to fly ball percentage is. So batted ball. So I would say if it's below 10% with these numbers, he's really lucky. So let's go splits. Batted ball. Against lefties, it's 12.5% on 37%. Am I missing? What am I? 5 home? I guess not. What's the inning sample size against lefties? 42. I don't know. All right, I guess it checks out. 0.48 home run per nine to lefties last year. Against Inoue, though, I mean, for the Nats, I'm just playing Juan Soto, a little Josh Bell. Probably not going to full stack the Nats here. They're implied for less than 4. Obviously, where the buzz is at on this game is the Atlanta Braves. So if you are new to MLB DFS, the Braves have a 5.9 implied run total. That's like 230 in NBA, right? You're going to get some over 6s and cores, stuff like that. With 5.9 implied runs for a run-of-the-mill game that's not like altitude influence or something like that, that's pretty doggone bad. And they're catching Josh Rogers, who is pretty doggone bad, and we could really focus on his metrics against righties last year, just 35 innings of sample size, but also we can dig deep down into his minor league numbers as well. These are not what you want. A 17% K rate. He had a 14% overall K rate last year, and 8%. God dang. I don't want to make fun of the man, but what the freak? So let's go Josh Rogers. This is cool. I've never seen this bar before. Oh, that's because it took me off the site. So I do want to dig into his minor numbers from last year, just to make sure we can validate all these really not good numbers that we're seeing on the front end. But it's clear that Vegas has no respect for this kid. 94. It's kind of old, huh? $58 innings last year against righties, 274 average allowed, 138 whip to both sides of the plate, fly ball pitcher to righties, 9 bombs in 58 innings. So anything that's over like 1 homer per 9. So like think of every 10 innings if I'm getting over 1 home run. Okay, that's not what you want. It's more than average. So at this one, if we're taking 60 and we're getting 9, yeah, this is a problem. This guy projects to be a gas can, and oh my god, Ozzy Albies. Oh my god, all of the Braves are absolutely torturing the bomb detector here. So put that in perspective. Let's resort the bomb detector. Put it at the very top. Adam Duvall, Ozzy Albies, Manny Pena, Marcelo Zuna, this Austin Riley, all with 4.1 or greater numbers here. And I think Albie's leading off against lefties. That's one of my rules in life is to play Ozzie Albies leading off against a lefty. So because of this run total, I'm just gonna assume that they're massive chalk. But how could they not be? So give me some Braves here. No Josh Rogers. Looking at this lineup, let's see. Nelson Cruz. I feel like I've tried to pitch against the Nats a few times this weekend. Mixed results. I might get to some, in the back end of 150. If you're tailing me on like 20 lineups, I probably am not playing in 20 lineups. But in the back end of 150, he'll get in the mix. And I'm not going to stack Nats, but Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Bell will fall naturally into the mix. These are also the only guys on the team with a 200 plus ISO against righties. So absolutely, absolutely going to get to some of them, but not full stacking. Do you like Dylan Bundy today? I think I will like him. I haven't got to that game yet, but I'm pretty sure I will be. No shade, but Eric don't know stuff. Good host though. What? Eric is, guys. I know it's like if you just consuming content and all you see is like my channel or Osmo channels or something like that, you don't understand how good everyone that steps in front of an Osmo camera is. Like, take some time later today and just type in like MLB DFS picks or MLB PrizePicks, NBA too, and go watch some of the other stuff out there. And it's not really the organizations, but some of the up and coming content creators. I clicked on a few this morning, and it was like, this pitcher's done this against this team in the last 10 years, and BVP, and yesterday I heard Saturday split. Like, it's bad. So understand that you're not getting shorted when you're seeing some of the talent on them. So I don't know, man. If you guys think you can do better, probably you should grind up, because there's a lot of bad stuff out there. So I don't know. I cut from my boy Eric and everybody else out there. Eric's a genius, bro. And not only just that he can spit fire on one sport, Eric covers all the sports, man. All the sports. All of them. What up, Moliker? Chalk quiz. Zippy does his homework. And this is why guns are go. See, I'm just saying. You guys are spoiled, right? And it's okay to be, you're spoiled. That's just the way of the world. But you don't understand, like, the quality that goes into those guys being in front of a camera. And not just that, like, just a giant team there. So no hate. What up, Parker? All right, where are we at on this slate? We got a couple games left. Cool. All right, Mariners at the Twins. And Twins. Shout out to the Twin Stack yesterday. Absolutely went off. Gary Sanchez. Grand slam. Knew that was coming. Hopefully you guys didn't get off of that game for weather. And I was saying on the stream yesterday, maybe weather might scare some people away, but sometimes you just got to still play the matchups. We do have a Mariners lineup. Adam Frazier, Ty France, Jesse Winker, Mitch Haniger, Abraham Toro. He's batting fifth. Eugenio Suarez. Batting sixth. J.P. Crawford. Julio Rodriguez. Cal Raleigh. Boom, that should confirm. Mariners lineup. We already had that Twins lineup punched in. Twins have a 4.9 implied run total. Pushing mid-50s up there. It's a little bit warmer. Chris Flexen has been essentially Paul Blackburn, if we're just trying to comp pitchers on this slate. Really big contact guy by design. I'll try to eat some innings. For some reason, he's 9.6K on DraftKings, so that's going to be a no for me. Not even going to consider Chris Flexen here. Do want to pick on any contact pitcher that will just, dare a team like the Twins to put the ball in play. But you got to... I guess once you get past Buxton and Correa, the Twin stack actually gets somewhat fiscally responsible. So I'm going to get to some Twins here. If we're trying to project homers or anything like that, Flexen doesn't suffer the long ball too much, but I wonder if we can feel a little bit better about Flexen giving up bombs on the road versus in Safeco. So let's go split them up from last year. last year on the road, 12 bombs and 82 innings. So it does look like that is true. 1.32 homer per nine on the road last year, 0.65 at home, 308 BABIP, okay, 134 xFIP. So yeah, we're stacking Twins here. We don't have to get overly aggressive. You know what's, I don't know. I'm glad Alex Kirilloff is down here having a good day. He was in some of my top lineups yesterday. I mean, a couple of great spots for him at the plate. If he would have came through, man, I would have had a much more profitable early slate. But Max Kepler in the mix, and Kepler's somebody that I do like against righties that daring him to make contact. 264 ISO. Gary Sanchez, intriguing. He's a guy that has to overcome and neutralize a high K rate, and he'll be pretty effective. And you saw it yesterday against more of a contact fly ball pitcher, and now he gets a shot at Chris Flexen, who is going to let him, put some exit velo on a ball. Sure. As far as bomb ratings, only Miguel Sano has a 4+ bomb rating. He really got plummeted down to the bottom of this lineup, the 8th spot for Miguel Sano. That's crazy, but hey, that happens when you have a 38% K rate. So on Fanduel 2200, that's chip in a chair territory. He has the power to get into one, so I don't mind looking his way. On the Mariners side, so I guess the question is Dylan Bundy. Is Dylan Bundy going to be a pitcher that we get behind today? I think a little bit. I do have worries after last year, a 9.5% swing and strike rate. Curtin Cullen, just an incredible 13% swing and strike rate the season before. Lost 6 points on his overall strikeout rate. Not what you want, and his whip went up. Expected ERA was 4.73, so it's not fluke year over year. He pitched as bad as his metrics essentially told us he was, but maybe new scenery, maybe things change for him. Maybe this Mariners offense can help him out. With that said, this Mariners offense that we did just confirm has only 3 guys in this lineup that have a K rate over 1 and 4. Everyone else is extremely pesky, 11%, 19%, 15%. So it's not a lot of strikeouts just inherently in this lineup anyway. And then, Julio Rodriguez, the J-Rod show, he's in the mix as well, but he looks like a pretty strong prospect for him. So I guess the 5,600, crazier things have happened, but just metrically, I don't know that I have a whole lot of high hopes and expectations for Bundy against this matchup. And I also say that we saw him last year maybe dig back into that bugaboo of homers against righties. The advanced metrics here are pretty linear from the last 3 years, and then the 2020 season, the home run per nine dipped under 1. Last year it looked more like Camden Yards results for Bundy. If I want to pick on him here with a couple of pick the sticks, Mitch Haniger swinging a hot bat. I want to say he has 2 homers already, and then Eugenio Suarez. Sure, those are 2. I think Mitch Haniger, though, at 3,200 on FanDuel definitely fills a role for me here. Add him to the mix. I don't feel enamored or enthralled or pressured to stack Mariners, but I guess you could. Let's see what might be coming out that bullpen for the Twins today. Twins. Yesterday we saw Alcala, Emilio Pagan, and I was like, Emilio! John Romero. So we might see Duran today if Bundy can't stretch deep. Might see Cotton, Jarrell Cotton. If I remember, he was more of a contact righty. Might have played for the Angels, maybe. Don't quote me. Joe Smith. So it's wide open here, but I usually just expect the guys that pitched yesterday to not pitch today, unless it's like 15 or less pitches. So maybe some Duran. I don't know, but at that point we're just speculating. So I guess a 5K. If Bundy gets you a shot at 10 fantasy points, go for it. Eat some innings, but if he was like 8 to 9K here with these metrics versus this low of a K rate in the opposing lineup, I wouldn't feel that great about it, Al Bundy, better than Dylan Bundy. Hey, he threw 5 touchdowns in the state championship? Alex Brown does some NFL shows for Osmo. He's what? I think I'm missing a lot of okay. I'm going to not try and catch up in live form, but what I do know is that the Toronto Blue Jays lineup is out. So let's bear with me as we backpedal just a little bit and get these bums in the spreadsheet, because we're about to get this work. So what we were looking for is, do they scatter some lefties or can they? So we got Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Teoscar, Lourdes Gurriel, Alejandro Kirk is batting 6th. 7th spot's Matt Chapman. Zach Collins is batting 8th, and Santiago Espinal is batting 9th. So they have one lefty. They're feeling a lot like last year's Yankees, where they are very talented, but a lot of righties. So basically, like the biggest concerns I had on Tyon was his numbers against lefties last year, and we can kind of not worry about that. Like maybe Zach Collins, sure. So we can really focus on these righty numbers here, which, still an elevated fly ball rate, still some power to righties, but he's going to throw strikes. He's going to challenge you, and yeah. All right, we have 2 games left on the docket. Let's do a plug real quick, if you guys would humor me. This stream brought to you by PrizePicks.com. If you guys are not on PrizePicks, I don't know what you're doing. You should be. It's a lot of fun, especially as we're getting to the playoffs in NBA, and maybe we could try some baseball. I've actually been working on a couple of different baseball theories for PrizePicks, because prop betting in baseball is not something that sounds like a lot of fun, but I do want to find a way to find an edge. And I think what I'm seeing right now, and this is between me and you guys, what I'm seeing right now when I'm looking at people touting player props in baseball and touting cards in baseball, is they're going all over the road. And what we know works in DFS is what? Stacking. Why are there not more 4-pick flex cards out there where you're stacking teams, positively correlated players that you can put together? I know you have to grab more than one team, so you find a one-off somewhere else, a pitcher, strikeout prop, something like that. But that just seems like the natural evolution and the natural it just seems obvious for that to be the more lucrative approach. And right now we're not seeing that in a lot of content out there. People are sending me screenshots on Twitter, and it's like Bryce Harper 1.5 bases, Aaron Judge 1.5 bases, blah blah. I think you guys should probably be trying to correlate fantasy points and start flexing some overs. I would never power play in baseball. Maybe if it like a 2-pick power or something like that, but just something I was thinking about. And we'll try to do some testing on it, and maybe as we work on more PrizePicks content coming forward, do that. But guys, be smarter. Anyway, be smarter when you sign up for PrizePicks, and use code Gundecker when you sign up. They'll double your first deposit up to $100, and it's a good way to support the stream, because every month they do say, "Hey Gun, this many people signed up because of you. Here's a little something," and then they slip it on the table. I go out the back door, walk of shame. It's the whole thing, but it's a lot of fun. And we have a free Discord, a link to that in the description below, where they are talking PrizePicks plays all day long, all day strong. So go be part of that. It's completely free to do that. Everything I just talked about, completely free. So why wouldn't you? It's free, Free. So we don't have official lineups for the last 2 games. So we'll talk about what we are projecting. It's the Marlins at the Angels. Marlins have a 4.5 run total. Angels 5.2. Elias Hernandez on the bump for the Marlins. Michael Lorenzen, former Cincinnati Red great, on the bump for the Angels. If you guys are new to baseball and you want a fun Cinderella moment, go check out Lorenzen hits a homer for the Reds back when pitchers hit a long time ago. But it was right after his father passed away, and he was a pitcher. He came out, was pitching great, and then he hit a homer, and that was just one of those baseball's beautiful moments things. So if you want to fall in love with some more of the romanticized moments in baseball, man, check out the Lorenzen homer a couple years back in Cincy. He was a solid pitcher too. Usually I've only seen him come out of the bullpen as a reliever. but it looks like they're going to test him out as a starter here in Los Angeles, so we can see what he's got. He hasn't gone more than 33 innings in the last 2 seasons, 83 innings in 2019, so we might have some length concerns as the season progresses. And then Elijah Hernandez, 51 innings last year, 25 the year prior, 82 the year prior. Neither pitcher profile like extremely great, so I don't think we have to prioritize much here pitching wise, but I will say the Marlins have just a 4.5 run total, while the Angels are at 5.2. So if we let run totals tell it, maybe we'd be a little bit more receptive to get into a little bit of Lorenzen. At 6,700, I'm not super comfortable, but I do think if we can get a more righty heavy lineup than lefty, and right now the projected lineup has just Jesus Sanchez, Joey Wendell, and Jazz Chisholm. Sure, I can. Is there? Let me skip this song. I feel like it's okay. All right. Sorry. We all just shared that moment together, right? We know what happened. I don't have to. Okay. So if this lineup stays, more righties than lefties, we tap into his strengths, Lorenzen's strengths, which is striking out righties and getting righties out. 306 xFIP last year to righties, 26% K rate to righties. Against righties, Soler, 26% K rate, Garrett Cooper, 27%. And then we get down the list a little bit. Avi Garcia can strike out 1 and 4. And Jazz Chisholm actually strikes out against righties, despite him being absolutely really good and should not be a bottom 2 hitter in the lineup. So maybe I do get into a little bit of Lorenzen, but this is when I'm trying to fluff up mass entry numbers. I don't think I get to him in 20 or less right now. But with that said, let's put him in the bottom of our pitching list here. And then stack-wise, it's a night where we can get to an Ohtani inclusive Angel stack against Hernandez. Hernandez last year, a 2.82 home run per night to lefties. He has really struggled with keeping the ball in the park to lefties over the course of the last 3 seasons of sample size. So I feel like Mr. Ohtani will enjoy seeing some of his pitches. His pitches, by the way, a fastball that sits at about 91 miles an hour. It's negatively graded on that linear scale. Then he backs it up with a slider, which is super average, and a little bit of change up here. So big spot for Shohei Ohtani to cash in. And Ohtani has a 4.2 rating on the bomb detector, which is a top 5 rating today. Once you get past the pitcher that the Braves are facing, because all the Braves there's 4 Braves in the top 6, and you start looking at non-Braves, Ohtani's the highest rated non-Atlanta Brave in the bomb detector today. So we like that. If he's going to lead off and get 6-7 at-bats, we're going to want to play that. Mike Trout, that guy, pretty good as well. We're going to keep him in the mix. And then Jared Walsh should be somebody that we look at as well, because Walsh, we talked about this effect with some of the power righties earlier. If Walsh can get past his strikeout woes, he has a 260 plus ISO, 920 plus OPS last couple years against righties. And Hernandez is somebody that does not really strike out lefties, or did not last year. Just an 18% to K rate to lefties. So you can dare a guy like Jared Walsh to put the ball in play. I'm going to play some Jared Walsh. So we're going to add some Angel stacks back end of our stack list. Obviously, they're just really good. And then the Marlins are coming off a stretch against San Francisco, so I wonder what that bullpen usage is looking like last couple days. Marlins, I don't have that data uploaded. Cool. I'll have to fix that when I get off. Yeah, stacking, thank you. Stack plus first inning score has been a positive process so far. Yeah, you would think. And that's where you'd be a little bit more open to failure, right? Because if you can 10x a stack, but you have a couple, 4 stacks out there, then I'll take it. Dylan's brother Al once scored 4 touchdowns in a single game. Let's go. Fun fact: Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, we talked about the BVP on him. Like I said, guys, I don't really I don't really care that much about BVP, but that's a fun one. 5 homers is fun. Again, Oscar Mercado did it again today. He grand slammed again today, or he homered again today? But yes, and you just mean like running stacks and not leaving out bottom of the order guys? Yeah. And that's why I let the computer do the thinking. right? you do the projections. You tell the opto, hey, I need 4, I need 5. I personally run a lot of 5-man stacks. I know on Saturday it felt like there wasn't a lot of teams going off. Yesterday we got a little bit more of a taste of teams dropping double-digit runs and multiple home runs, like the twin stack. I think they had 4 or 5 homers in that lineup. That's what I'm looking for when I'm selling out for 5-man stacks. I'm giving up all of my floor because I'm going to have lineups with 20, 30 points, but I'm looking for that team that explodes, go off on that bullpen, and that's why I do a lot of 5-man stacks. And you can't just do 1 through 5 20 times, right? You're going to have to mix and match here and grabbing the Mercados of the world. Sure, Kepler got into it yesterday. He was kind of in the bottom of the lineup as well. So definitely there's definitely incentive to not leave out the bottom of the lineup in stacks, right? All right, so we're pitching some Lorenzen. Do we want to pick on Lorenzen with anything? 2 years ago, he had a little bit of a home run problem to righties, but the fly ball rate dropped dramatically last year. Let's see if we can figure out why. You guys want to do that? Lorenzen. We are dealing with just like 30 innings of sample size, so it may just be no strong reason. But whenever I see a significant decrease in a batted ball event stat, I'm looking for changes in pitch type and pitch usage. So we're just gonna look at pitch type, and actually let's just go to his main page, Lorenzo. Let's see if he started using one pitch more than the other, if he added a pitch, something like that. So, pitch. There we go. All right, so looks like last year we saw a little less fastball, a little bit more cutter, a little less curveball. The year prior, kind of similar to the year prior a little bit. Looks like the increase on cutter last year, and does that coincide with the year prior? Yeah, so you see like his 2021 numbers looked a little bit more like 2019. And his pitch usage in 2021 looked a little bit more like 2019. So I guess for whatever reason, he was trying to use that slider a little bit more last year, use the cutter less, and the results weren't great. So let's see if that's what he continues to do this year, is to go with that. And if he does, I can see him keeping the ball in the park and servicing back end of my player pool. Cool. Soler, you like Soler kickstart? You guys got some home run calls in chat? We can't pick Schwarber every day, all right? I've seen his BVP listed twice in chat. We can't do that. And while you guys give me some home run calls, I'm going to plug the RunDFS.com VIP content. If you guys want to jump in here, I forgot to take down the season pass. Don't get the season pass, or do, but I need to go take it down. We have month passes, week passes, 2-week passes, all that good stuff. Every pass that we have comes in with a built-in credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, and Cruncher is the optimizer that I use, especially for making my baseball lineups. I can't think of a better result for process, like to simplify the process, than what Fantasy Cruncher allows me to do. So if you are new to the MLB game, I promise you, I know it's prideful to have 1 to 3 lineups or something like that, but you ain't got it. You can let your pride go for 20 lineups, bro. Find 4 or 5 teams you want to stack. Find 3, 4 pitchers that you want to get behind. Make 20 lineups based around that. Explore the ranges, the outcomes, stuff like that. It's going to get more complicated once you evolve into 100, 150 lineups, and then you're playing percentages, and you're going to play guys that you wouldn't play, stuff like that. But it all involves optos. And like I said, allowing an optimizer to make a data decision or a non-human decision where you're just constantly going to end up playing 1 through 4 in your stacks if you're clicking them as a human. Yeah, Cruncher helps a bit. So if you want the spreadsheet, you want to talk with me in Discord every day in the voice chat, and you want a little bit of credit towards Cruncher, try membership at RunDFS.com. Otani, Mitch Haniger, how about Rizzo? So Trickaroo, I like that call on Mitch Haniger, Matter of fact, I think Haniger was the highest rated, not only Mariner, but I think he's one of the highest rated non-Braves. Eugenio Suarez is a little higher. I'm willing to go backwards on that a little bit, but this is not based off of homers. And it's not based off homers allowed or homers by the hitter. The data that goes into the bomb detector is purely batted ball event data. So like hard contact, fly ball rate, line drive rate, pull rate, stuff like that. So it doesn't care about the park. And so while Suarez might have an inflated home run number because of Great American Ballpark, the bomb detector doesn't care. So he's actually a little bit above Haniger, but I like Haniger a little bit more just because he's been hot lately and he's batting fourth. So Haniger is somebody that's over a 4 rating in the bomb detector. Ohtani, we mentioned, he's the highest non-Brave. Vladdy Guerrero for Malacur. Vladdy is actually I think the Blue Jays, I don't know, I want to say that they weren't popping like I thought they were. I got Hernandez and Chapman as highest on my bomb detector, but I'll never push back on a guy like Vladdy. Edie says my home run picks today are Judge, Soler, Harper, Ohtani. Judge, I got him at 3.86. Harper, I made Harper the cover boy. I don't mind him. Just comparing your picks to the bomb detector itself, which obviously I'm not. I'm just doing it as a point of reference. Harper came in with a 3.86 rating. Akil Badu, I don't have that game in the spreadsheet, so I don't have his number. I guess I could get it real quick. Who is he pitching? Who was pitching against the Tigers today? I could give you what that number would be. Fudge. What would I do? Go to an all-day slate, maybe? So it's Michael Wacha. All right. So what would it have been the rating for Michael Wacha versus Akil Badu? He would have gave us a 3.46 bomb rating, which is not great, but it's not great at all. H to the Izzo, R to the Izzo. Let's go. Anthony Rizzo has your pick. I'm with it. Where's Heliot Ramos? Should be starting. 4. For the Giants. Oh, do I have the wrong starter for the Giants? It's okay if I'm wrong. I could fix that. I have Alex Wood. Is that not the... Or are you just asking in general, where's this guy? I have Alex Wood starting, though. But if you see something different, I'll fix it. I don't mind. Brandon Lau's my ding-dong call of the day. All right. What do we got? What's the bomb detector say on Brandon Lau? 3.75. So, for reference, my magic number in the bomb detector is 4. So, if you get close to 4 or way above 4, I'm interested. Blackburn, high ground ball rate, low hard contact rate. So the robot's not gonna like it, but it's okay to have that feeling in your bad knee. I liked him yesterday. Yankees fans giving advice on Blue Jays. I'm not giving advice. I'm stacking the Blue Jays. Look at the list, bro. Blue Jays, they're in the mix. They're gonna lose and get smoked by 20, but whatever. Just kidding. Why not Schwarber and Harper? I like Schwarber and Harper. I'm fine with them. Nick Castellanos is always a good call. He's not a pitcher. What's the best way to stack? Do you do a couple games or I don't know? So the best way to stack, do you do a couple games or I don't know? So here's what I will say: if you're just running 1, 2, 3 lineups, something like that, depending on your risk tolerance, don't feel like you have to stack. Stacking is really, if you look at the top of your tournaments every night, it's 98% of the time going to be full stacks. And that's what a lot of us scumbags are trying to do. We're just trying to spray all these stacks at the wall and get there. But if you're baby stepping it and you want to get into a single entry or something like that, I don't feel like you have to be stuck on stacking. You could just play some good players. And, if I was if I popped open the bomb detector and I start grabbing the top 2 guys from like different teams, I think that's a fine process as well. So if you are literally brand new to MLB DFS, like don't feel like you have to have a 1 in a million lineup in the 100K to first. You know what I'm saying? Go hit some of those. Go hit some of those single entry stuff like that. Really study lineups, understand what's winning, what's not, and then you start growing. You gotta start somewhere. You gotta learn somewhere. But if you are intermediate or even just above entry level for MLB DFS, yes, stacking is absolutely something you should start getting to know how to do. And for me, it's just finding guys that I think the bare bones basis, find teams that look like they're in really good spots, good run total, stuff like that. And then that's where you start learning. As you get to the point where you understand lineup construction and understand identifying plus matchups, and you can start growing your risk tolerance a little bit and understanding ranges of outcomes. And sometimes this ain't gonna hit. Sometimes this thing that shouldn't hit, like the Cubs beating up Peralta, Corbin Burns, and you know, Brandon Woodruff, stuff like that. That's gonna happen. That's baseball. Then you start being a little bit more risk, heighten your risk tolerance in tournaments and stuff like that, and your stacks can get a little bit freakier. But I would just say grow naturally, and then you're also going to start learning how to incorporate ownership and leverage, negative leverage, positive leverage versus the field, all that good stuff. But I would say don't start at the 12-foot deep end of the pool, right? Start first learning the game of baseball, what you're looking for, which is good pitchers, good hitters, and then start going from there. It's a very complicated sport, but once you get it, it clicks, then you're a pro. Do you use pitcher of team stacking? I don't care. If it, to me, it's not correlated enough that that's something you should worry about. Like, I like the Ray stack, I like Patino, but there's really, like, I'm not getting more points for the stack if Patino strikes out 5 and vice versa. The only real positive correlation we have here is if you get points for the win. But that's such a volatile stat anyway that I wouldn't let that tinker my anything. So the short answer is no. You don't use pitcher of team stacking, but you don't. It's not like you don't. You can't, right? It's just not something that I think matters to connect, right? Rizzo, Alonso, or Jared Walsh for one off. So I think if I'm podium those 3, Alonso's going to be at the very bottom. I got some respect for Ranger Suarez. Walsh is intriguing, but we don't have that lineup out yet. So if Rizzo's going to bat second in a tight division game against Alek Manoah, who has had some issues with lefties, not only the home runs to lefties, but the walks to lefties, Rizzo will take his pitches. I probably get to Rizzo and hope for maximum opportunities to pay off there. Really great protection behind him. So my ranking would probably be Rizzo, Walsh, and then the polar bear. Always stack a good hitting team win at Colorado, although the Dodgers killed me last night. Sure. Glad I missed the whole stream. Who's the top stack? The Braves. But the Braves are also going to come with ownership, right? You can get Schwarber, Harper, and Castellanos DK tiers today. Yeah. See, and tiers. That's a great point, Mike. When tiers first came out, people were just like, what do we do? Just hit it. And that's what I feel like is the age we're in for prize picks. People are just grabbing random stuff in cards. Stack your prize picks, man. Make your stuff positively correlated. Get those 4-pick flexes hit over fantasy points. For me, I stay away from those total bases and hits plus walks. Give me fantasy points. Let me get credit for stolen bases and home runs, stuff like that. Because a guy can get a home run and not hit his 1.5 hits and walks. Like, I just positively correlate those fantasy scores is probably the lane I would say to start driving in, and then go from there. But correlate that stuff. And if you're playing tiers, correlate that stuff. Make it make sense. Pitchers Cruz and blowouts. Do they? Because Bailey Ober was on the right side of a blowout yesterday. He wasn't cruising. The scoreboard really has no. a pitcher could throw more strikes and not care about giving up homers in a blowout. But no, that's not the case. And also in blowouts, teams don't go to their best arms out of the bullpen. They start bringing in some bums, right? So that's not a true statement, in my opinion, Irish Wood. They do not cruise in blowouts. They can pitch with more confidence, less pressure if they give up one, but I don't think that's strictly correlated because I can easily pull. Heck, the other day, the Rangers had a 7-run lead and lost, right? So that's not true. Would you rather get to a different catcher than Pena or just finish the stack to make it a 5-man? A different catcher than Pena if I had expendable. I mean, if I'm trying to. If the point of the lineup is literally to stack, right, and I'm firing it out there at the world, then I'd probably stay consistent with the thought process and just stack them. But if you are, like, if you're not in love with Manny Pena today, I got Pena at a 4.2 bomb rate, 4.3 bomb. Yeah, I'd probably just play Pena. Why not? A little bit of access to the bottom of the lineup, and if Pena does reach, he can get touched by Albies if Albies does something. So it's not necessarily poorly correlated. And I would imagine your 4-man Brave stack right now probably has Ozzy Albies in it, right? I miss your thoughts on Alex Wood. So I haven't hit that game yet, Andrew. Let me go knock that out. I'm sorry, we got on a little tangent, but that's fine. Like, guys, I'm fully willing to discuss concepts and all that stuff with you. What's it, 317? We got time. I really don't have any. Wait, I might have one obligation. Let me double check. As long as I'm free by 4, even then I should be all right. I definitely different than NFL. It is different for sure. Fournier on Wednesday night at the Garden. God dang it. Learning MLB myself. Hey, this is fine, guys. I'm gonna be doing a lot of daily streams. And I know last week was a little hectic because I had a lot of obligations and we had NBA coverage as well. But like my goal for this stream is to be a little less polished, right? We're playing music, we're chilling, we're doing research. I'm 100% here for concept talk, and there's truly no dumb questions for me. So if you are new, I want you to get better. And then get in the free Discord. I'll answer some questions in the free Discord as well. The link to that is in the description below. Last game tonight, the Padres taking on the Giants. I got Alex Wood starting for the Giants here. Nick Martinez on the bump for the Padres. I got no data in my spreadsheet for Nick Martinez, so I'm going to see what the story is. What's the deal with Nick Martinez? He's not like a Nicholas Martinez, is he? Nick Martinez. Oh, man. Of course, this is a common name. I got to hunt it down, right? Nick Martinez. Let me do some digging, chat. One of the frustrating things about... okay, he came out the Texas system. So I did see a Nick Martinez from Texas. One of the frustrating things about baseball is there's so many players in it that you often get guys with common names that are actually shared not only by historical guys in the league, but other guys that are still in the league. Like there's a Will Smith reliever, a Will Smith catcher. There's 2 Max Muncies. There's one that got drafted. He'll be coming up. And then, just common names like Nick Martinez and stuff like that. So I want to make sure we're looking at the right one. So looks like this is the right one. So has he really not pitched in... Yikes. What is the deal with him? Was he in the KBO for the last couple of years? Let's see. Let's read. Mike Levinger's knee placement on the injured list coupled Thursday's trade sent Chris Paddock to blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's coming in from overseas. Okay. During his time overseas, the right-hander gained a few ticks of velocity on his fastball, showed an improved 4-pitch mix, made major gains in limiting walks. Of course, Martinez will be facing higher caliber competition in his return to MLB. All right. Let's see if Fangraphs has a article on Nick Martinez. Maybe somebody's already done the legwork for us. A lot of guys will come from the KBO or those overseas league, and they'll look like Kershaw's, and then when they get here, like Chris Flex and guys like that, like the hitting in the MLB is a lot better than overseas. So want to make sure we know what they're dealing with. What up, Justin? My friend Justin. He's already got a girlfriend, but he's in chat. All right, Nick Martinez Fangraphs. I just want to see if there's an article or something that can do the work for me. This one looks like it might have a leg up. November 12th, 2021. And then we could also look at Nick Martinez spring training. Control F Martinez. Martinez plays Japan, something there, signing who knows he's a free agent, blah, blah, blah. 1.6 ERA, won a silver medal, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so that's not really anything. Let's see what Zip's got on him. What are the top 2 pitching options regardless of ownership? I'm thinking, alright, so I'll give you the guys I think are top 3. I think Patino and Suarez are top 2 as they get a more watered down opponent. Manoah, I think, probably has the highest upside on the slate just because of his strikeout acumen. But his opponent, they bring in some bats, so that could get ugly quick. So I think Patino and Suarez are the top 2 options. And it's not even like I think they drop 30 or nothing like that. I just think we're weighing floor to ceiling and quality of matchup while also considering their ability to get strikeouts. I think it's Patino and Suarez for me. All right, Martinez throws harder on days, as you remember from the time with the Rangers. He can now hit the mid-90s. Suarez mostly fastball changeup. All right, cool. And then while we're here, Nick Martinez. Close out these extra tabs. It's extra. The last tab I was looking at was Nick Martinez spring training. When it's blowing out at 22. So I do believe, and I'm not a scientist, but I do believe Oracle Park has made adjustments in the last half decade to neutralize the effect of wind. I can't explain it, but someone in chat, does it sound like I'm making that up, or is that something that is true? Because I think it is true. Spring training. All right, spring training, 12 innings in the spring training, 14 strikeouts, 178 average. That's nice. Sub 1 whip. Did give up 3 homers. They don't do spring training splits, do they? And it looks like 2 of those homers were to right. All right, cool. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. He looks like he's gonna have some strikeout potential, but he's also gonna have potentially some home run potential, potentially from the Department of Redundancy department. So none of his stats will be baked into consideration for the bomb detector. I'm sorry, I can't make it up. But at 5,900, is there any merit in playing him against looks like a team that could strike out 22 to 25% of the time? Maybe. Hope for double digits, sure. Alex Wood on the bump for the Giants. We do have sample size on him. Last year, 138 innings, 26% K rate, 12.5% swing and strike rate, a 19.8 called strike percentage, like nuts, 5.3% barrel rate. So Alex Wood at 9,200, probably a little overpriced for like Alex Wood, but I have been stressing not sweating prices at least this early on because value at pitcher is who's scoring the most here. And does Alex Wood have a chance of being a top 3 scorer? Sure. I don't think this is a strikeout prone lineup, although I think the Padres might be a little bit overrated, and they only have a 3.7 implied run total. But if you're paying up for Wood in hopes of strikeouts in this projected lineup, I got Austin Nola with a 14% K rate against lefties last couple years, Machado 15, Cronenworth 17, Hosmer 18, Profar 15. Now, the guys in the mix here, 26, 24, 27, 23, there is some strikeout potential. But yeah, if you're getting to 9K pitcher, you're kind of hoping for a little of both. The ground ball rate's elevated. The temps are going to be cool. So I think I'll get to Alex Wood in the back end of the player pool. But understand, I'm not playing him for 30. In 3 weeks, I'll be paying 9K for pitchers that I want 30 from. But today, I really just want him to be able to be a top 3, top 4 scorer. And I think that's very possible. And then if I wanted to pick on him, I'm not getting any massive bomb ratings against him. I guess Machado and Voit if I had to. And then the Giants. We're dealing with the unknown here. So I think I'll probably just play a little bit of both sides of the fence. I'll get to some Giant stacks. Mike Yastrzemski, Brandon Belt, maybe Young Jock, put him in the blender, and probably get to a little bit of Nick Martinez. Both of those are going to be in big field tournaments only. Don't expect much out of this field, this park, and these two offenses tonight. So that's in the 150 lineup, so I'm not going to do it in 50 or less, just back-ending it, Back-ending it. What up, Valdo? All right, chat. So that's what I got here. So we'll just do questions and whatever, and if lineups come out, we'll make some adjustments. So I do appreciate if you guys were just watching to kind of get caught up on the slate. All I ask is to hit that thumbs up before you get out of here. And if you haven't subbed, hit that sub. We're trying to get 6K subs. But if you are literally brand new to DFS, you'll fire some questions at me. Go for it. We'll talk some concepts here. Wait, do I have a meeting? No, that's... No. Okay. Yeah. So, San Fran's one of the few places you really have to be careful with looking at the win. Yeah. What up, Steve? The Yanks can give you the lineup. K's, I can still feel the breeze from last night's ninth inning. Bro, that Judge at bat was intense, man. My man got to like 11 pitches and somehow swung through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's on me. I went to Twitter. When I saw that they were warming up Jake Diekman, I knew we were winning the game. I was like, oh, Judge and Stanton against Jake Diekman? And then Judge had that at bat. Oh, what can you do? Giants move Walls in. Okay. I heard that about Oracle and Osmo this AM. Oh, about about the walls being okay. Yeah, there's a couple parks making some adjustments on their walls. I know Camden was the most notable. I know the Giants have made moves in the last couple of years, like I mentioned. Dealing with the wind and in some cases adjusting park dimensions. It's crazy that could happen, right? What up, Valdo? What do you like at the catcher position? So I would imagine JT Realmuto is going to be my highest graded catcher. But we'll go to the bomb detector and put up anyone that's catcher eligible. And I'll just give the highest bomb ratings. Manny Pena's up there, but he's in the bottom of the order. Alejandro Kirk. Realmuto is way lower than I thought it would be. But I do like a two-hole hitting professional hitter that also plays catcher. This is the bomb rating on all catchers. Manny Pena's at the top. Kirk is below him. Gary Sanchez, Max Stasey. So I don't know. None of these guys are like priority clicks for me. I'd probably just let catcher complete the stack for me today. Unless that I needed if I was halfway through a slate and I wasn't stacking in my top lineup and I needed to chase a homer, then I'd probably put in like Gary Sanchez or something. Not getting Woods. Okay, buddy. Trying to hit the 6K subs. The 6K subs. What? The 8? Oh no, the 8K. Did I say 6K? My bad. I'm trying to hit 8K. Flexing is absolutely awful. No, I'm not touching him. Stanton swung at everything. Stanton came up, man. Stanton looked good earlier in the day, but that last at bat definitely was a little rough. Buxton homered off a pitch that was high in the zone. 101. Yeah, I mentioned that on the show yesterday. Buxton turned around 101, and I was like, he could probably catch up to Marco Gonzalez's 88, and that's exactly what he did. Not once, but twice. Alec Boehm, you like that? Assume Brave stack's going to be high zone. German, I haven't looked at ownership projections, and on this show, I don't like to give away proprietary information that isn't mine. So, I won't, and I don't do ownership projections myself. But by process of elimination, looking at the 5.9 run total, yeah, they're probably the highest owned stack. But just know that I can't confirm or I don't know. I haven't checked it. I like to do the stream before looking at ownerships. Who's your number two? Who's your two highest owned pitchers? I think it's going to be Patino and Ranger Suarez. So here, I mean, here's a list that I wrote while we were doing the show. So if I had to rank, I might have more Ranger Suarez than Patino when it's all said and done, because I think Suarez is pretty good. But this looks like my rankings at pitcher, and I might put Alex Wood above Inoa, maybe, because I'm not expecting a lot, but I do want a solid game out of him. So if I had to rank it, Stacks, and then Stacks, I don't have these ranked, but I think it's fair. Maybe we're moving like Yankees and Blue Jays above the Rays. Probably Blue Jays, then Yankees, if we're just letting numbers tell it, then Rays, and then Angels. So this is probably how I would start my grind as I started making lineups, is trying to get this accomplished, and then I would start adding and subtracting based on developments, right? Anything else, chat? I think that's it. I think we're good. Hey, if you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundecker, man. I may tweet out the final product of the bomb detector, and then I will get you guys headed into the slate. I want to remind you guys, today's lock is earlier. It's like 25-30 minutes earlier than usual, so don't sleep on that. This game tips off at 6:40 Eastern. It's usually like 7:05. So yeah. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord doing the pre-lock voice chat, all that good stuff. You guys are absolutely the best. We're going to be back tomorrow, probably around 1 or 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. We're also going to do some NBA content. Josh is back. Only 2 games, so we don't have to reserve as much time for that. And then we're going to grind it out, man. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely the best. I hope I'm somewhat helping you guys when it comes to learning MLB. And then, like I say, you get more questions tonight, write them down, come back tomorrow, we'll talk about it, and we'll try and add more and more process talk and concept talk, stuff like that. So you guys are the best. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them, because I love you. Good luck, God bless, and go win some money.